On this episode of Sam Talks, I have with me from England our all-rounder, David Willey. David, how does it feel to be here in Zimbabwe?
Yeah, amazing. It's my first time here. It's a beautiful country. The weather's fantastic, and this tournament. It's a great tournament, but it's also really exciting to see some of the local players and having them have some responsibility in teams as well, which is exciting for the local cricket.
And you've been vital for us. Unfortunately, I know you got injured here too, but how's being with the Cape Town Sampgroup been?
Yeah, it's great. It's a brilliant franchise. The unity amongst the groups, I know, is massive. It's a big thing for them, and you can really feel that. They've picked a side that have come together and gelled pretty quickly, which is what you need in these competitions, and I think that's reflected in the games. There's been various players contribute at different times, and that's what you need in these short format competitions.
And playing, T10 again, enjoyed it. A lot of, obviously it's quick, fast, sometimes a lot of pressure situations, especially like some of the games that we've had.
Yeah, it's been a few years since I've played for one reason or another, but it's great to be back involved. As you say, it's very fast. You have to think on your feet quite a bit, and the game can change, in the space of a few balls. So, you're never out of it, and never feel like you've fully got the game in control. So, it's an exciting format to play.
Now, what kind of got you into cricket, and when did you start playing? I know your dad also played for, England and played a lot of cricket. So was it him that kind of really inspired you, or what kind of made you want to take on the sport?
Yeah, my dad, I grew up at cricket grounds, and took to it like a duck to water, really. I just loved the game and played it at every opportunity. So, my dad's influence was, very big. He didn't push me into the game at all. It was quite the opposite, and I think I've sort of done the same with my son as well. I mean, he loves it. Whenever I'm at home, he wants me to throw balls at him and bowl at me and things. But again, I haven't pushed him. So yeah, my journey was heavily influenced by my dad, and I sort of wanted to follow his footsteps and emulate his career. And he's been a great guide and mentor throughout my career. He had 49 years in the game, and the knowledge and experience that he had, to pass that on to me, I'm very thankful for.
And during your school days, did you play other sports as well?
Yeah, I played some football, was probably my other main sport. Played a bit of rugby as well. I've always played every sport. I was always, when Wimbledon was on, I was playing tennis, and then I'd be playing snooker or whatever's on TV. That's what I was out playing.
Then what subject did you not like, or was it all of them in school?
Yeah, school wasn't my favourite place. I enjoyed the sport. I was fairly academic, but it just wasn't something I enjoyed.
And how did it feel, especially when you got into the county setup?
Yeah, a very proud moment, making my debut at 19 for my home county, Northampton, that my dad also played for. So that was very special for me and for my family, I think. And I look back at that, and it was, there was one of the senior guys got injured. I'd scored a few runs in some pre-season matches, and I got an opportunity and never really looked back. I don't think I've ever been the most talented or gifted naturally, but I've always found a way, tried to evolve my game and try and contribute in all three areas of the game.
And in 2013, winning as well, and you're a player of the match in the final, scoring some 60 runs and taking a couple of wickets as well. Yeah,
that was another one of those opportunities, right place, right time. I think the semi-final, obviously they're on the same day. Our opening batter got injured, and they said, "Do you want to open the batting?" So, it was a bit of a free shot, really. So, I just went out and played with freedom and came off. And I think it was 21 years the county hadn't won a trophy. So to be a part of that, and for a place that has meant so much to me and my family, it was very special to be able to contribute.
No, absolutely. And then 2015, the big year, making your ODI and T20 debut. I mean, how did it feel finally playing for the country, and then especially since your dad also played? So how was that moment for the family?
Yeah, it was a dream come true for me. I had always wanted to play for England. I don't think really anybody in my family probably thought I was going to be good enough, but it was another right place, right time. England had had a pretty woeful World Cup in New Zealand, I think, just before. and they had a reshuffle, sort of went about things differently, and a left armour that swung the new ball was something that they'd highlighted, and there I was playing white cricket and swinging the white ball. So, you know, I got an opportunity there and played one game at the time, and I thought, you know, that was probably going to be my one and only game, but to get called up again and play for as long as I did, you know, very proud and special memories.
What were the nerves like? Like, do you remember when you got the cap, what you were going through?
Yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday. Trying to find the right word that's not an expletive. I was extremely nervous, but also, you know, overwhelmed with excitement as well. You know, there's no better feeling than representing your country, and from a young boy, you know, playing in the garden, dreaming about doing that, to actually being out there doing it, you know, it was something very special.
And then besides those debuts in the 2015, you also scored a century in the Blast against Sussex. So how did that feel, you know, scoring that century? And then that was a quarterfinals, you got into semifinals. I know you guys lost the finals, but pretty good outing there.
Yeah, it was actually the first game of cricket my now wife came to watch me play, and she had no idea what was going on. So, you know, I think it was a bit of a false advertisement, wasn't it? She thought, God, this guy's pretty good. So no, but yeah, again, to perform in important games for a county and a club that I grew up at and, you know, means so much to me was pretty special. So it would have been nice. That was my last year at Northants before I moved on. It would have been nice to have finished with another trophy, but, you know, as I say, to contribute in big games is important and what I want to do.
And following year, World Cup. You know, so what did that mean? You know, playing for England for a World Cup, and, you know, went to the finals, pretty close finals. I know it didn't end in England's side, but, you know, just 2 years ago, you at least got to be a part of that winning trophy.
Yeah, 2016, again, like, you want to play in big competitions in India, you know, that's the centre of cricket really. So to do that, to perform throughout the competition and get so close was pretty magical. It'd been nice to have, you know, got across the line there. But yeah, to play in World Cups in India, you know, there's nothing bigger and better than that. So obviously the 50 over World Cup just gone was special as well. And, you know, I retired from international cricket at the end of that. But I think you touched on there, the T20 World Cup that we actually went on to win. Obviously, I actually didn't play in that, but to be a part of that group after being left out of the 2019 World Cup in England that for 4 years prior that group had been working towards, you know, there was a lot more meaning to that World Cup medal than just that tournament.
Absolutely, and, you know, speaking of retirement last year, you know, that final game for you, I mean, you guys beating Pakistan, especially your performance and reaching 100 ODI wickets. So, you know, a lot happening in that game.
Yeah, it was lovely. You know, I got a good farewell from the group. Still feel I'm playing my best cricket, but I think the management at the ECB and the cricket board felt there was time to go in a different direction. Don't agree with it, but, you know, and then it was the right time for me to make that decision. So, you know, I think you always want to represent your country, but there's a time that you have to recognise that you're not valued like you should be, and make a decision to walk away. So, you know, that game was special to get 100 ODI wickets. There's 100 wickets there that can't be taken away from me, and yeah, special occasion. It was at the same ground that you know, we lost the World Cup final as well. So,
and when you look back at your career, what would you say has been your favorite memory?
Favorite memory, I think probably that 2020 World Cup win. Had my family there with me, my wife, who's, you know, unwavering support, and the sacrifices she's made to allow me to go and, you know, play cricket all around the world and for England and in these competitions. And my two children were there as well. So for us all to be on the outfield, there's a great clip actually of my two kids holding hands with all the players running towards the Barmy Army at the MCG, which is just magical and a memory that, you know, I'll cherish forever.
Absolutely. And then, you know, I think in cricket, there's a lot of challenges, as you mentioned, you know, staying away from family, often, you know, being in and out of the team. So how have you kind of faced that, you know, throughout your career, and, you know, mentally kind of supported yourself?
Yeah, it's tough. You know, I've probably played as many games for England as I have run the drinks, if not run the drinks more. So, you know, there was a period probably leading up to the 2019 World Cup where I fell out of love with the game. I was running the drinks for England all the time. I wasn't actually playing that much cricket, and then when I did get an opportunity, I hadn't been playing, so my performance probably wasn't where I'd like it to be, and it was tough. You know, and an extended break there because of COVID probably was the best thing that could have happened for me personally. And when I came back to playing, I made a promise to myself. Sorry.
It's okay.
Turn this off. It's my wife.
You got to bring her next time.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. That extended period, I'd made a promise to myself that, you know, I would only continue to play cricket for the love of the game, and probably got another shot with England after that, and wasn't sure whether that was going to be my last series or whatever. So I just said, look, I'm going to enjoy this so I can look back at my time with England with fond memories, not anxiety about whether I'm going to get picked or what my performance is. And yeah, there's been some injuries and disappointment along the way, but I think it's how you react to them and see them as a opportunity to bounce back or grow as a person and as a cricketer and make yourself better. And I think you know, probably it's been one of my strongest attributes as a cricketer is the ability to bounce back and find a way to compete and perform with, I guess, what you'd call limited resources.
Yeah. Well, I think in the last decade, what's been really great about cricket is, you know, all the franchise cricket, you know, so having so many opportunities to go around the world and play, and you've been a part of, you know, many different leagues, you know, so what's kind of been the key there in terms of fitness and kind of keeping yourself ready and kind of being able to just be around so many different cricketers and kind of in a short time of span, being able to play and hopefully, you know, get along with the team?
Yeah, I think, you know, you touched on fitness there. It's something I try and pride myself on.
Yeah.
I think there was a period for England that I think there was only one other bowler that had played more white ball cricket than me. So, you know, it probably helped me in selection and things, knowing that they could take me on tours and rely on me to be fit. So, yeah, just, you know, trying to make myself available 12 months of the year. And then I think on the on-field side of things, it's just my ability to adapt and read the game. As I said there, you know, I'm not 6'7" and don't bowl 90 miles an hour. So trying to find ways and understand the batter and what's needed in games has probably been something that I've been quite strong at and has served me well around the world. And I really enjoy dropping into different environments, different cultures, different teams. It's actually something that I do really enjoy, and you know, getting to work with different players, and I think there's a real skill for leaders and coaches to be able to get guys to gel together quickly and find a formula with the players that you've got to be successful. And I've been very fortunate, you know, to have won the Big Bash, the IPL. So, you know, I've been in the PSL finals a couple of times and things. So, yeah, played in some good teams that have been quite successful, and you know, they're nice memories to have as I look back on my career. Okay,
so we're gonna look back at some memories. First one, such a cute picture.
Oh, dear me.
So, I mean, you started pretty young.
Yeah, I think that would have been county age group cricket.
Yeah.
I mean, my mum used to drive me every weekend around the country, and I'd be sat there map reading. Oh gosh, I'd be so emotional based on my performance, and usually they were pretty poor performances. So I feel for my mum on the way home. I'd sulk on the way home.
How old's your son?
He is 7,
okay,
so he won't be far off there another couple of years.
This one. We spoke about this.
Finals day.
Yeah.
That was special. Like a lot of the guys that we played with in that side, I grew up on the academy and things with, playing age group cricket with. And the head coach at the time, David Willey, you know, he'd been my coach through the age groups as well. And so yeah, just a lot of people that had been a big part of my journey, and a county that I grew up at. And, you know, through the summers as a kid, I just went up and spent all my days at Northamptonshire. So very special.
Yeah, I want to know. So what was The hairstyle.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a, where I grew my hair out, and both Jack Brooks and I wore headbands. Yeah, I could have probably tended to my hair a little bit more. It wasn't very good. Debut against Ireland in Malahide. I know the main England team had just been on a series in West Indies, so this was the game that I touched on. I thought it was going to be a one-off game, but nonetheless it was a cap that for my country that I'm very proud of. But yeah, as it turned out, it was one of many, and yeah, it was the start of a
Do you
journey.
remember any advice you got from any of the players?
Not really. The strongest memory of that, I mean, it rained, the game got called off.
Yeah.
My strongest memory of that was actually Pete Moores, I think, got sacked the morning after, and it was a bit of a mess. So, but yeah, I mean, your debut for England is, always very special.
This one.
That would have been
wicket in the World Cup.
Was that the first wicket in the World Cup? Gosh,
your first, yeah.
We got absolutely thumped by West Indies that game. So I think that was our first game. I forgot to mark my run-up out, so I bowled the first over, I think, and I went to find my mark and it wasn't there, so they had to run a tape measure out. I think I got caught up in the moment and forgot to mark my run-up out. So yeah, a little bit of a panic, but yeah, a couple of high-scoring first games.
So I put this one especially because Liam plays in my minor league team.
Yeah.
Because now he's in America and not too far off from me as well. But how's the journey been with him?
Yeah, he's a beauty. He's actually godfather to my kids. Just a champion of a bloke. He gets stuck into me, and likewise I do him. He's just a great guy. Lived down the road from me when I was up in Yorkshire, and thoroughly enjoyed and been very lucky to play with him so much.
And then this one.
Yeah, IPL win 2017, I think. 2018. Yeah. Fantastic franchise. Very lucky to play, obviously under MS. Only played a handful of games, but to experience, that was my first experience of the IPL actually. So to have that experience and go all the way through and win it was magical, really. I think it's probably what a lot of cricketers dream of doing, playing in the IPL and winning it. And it was a brilliant franchise as well. And it was actually around that time that was the start of when I started to fall out of love with the game. So I recall having some conversations with the coach, Stephen Fleming, about when he knew it was time to retire and things like that. So I look at that, with fond memories at the same time. Where I was at with my cricket was in a bit of a sticky spot. So a special memory, to go all the way and be part of a winning side at the IPL.
What were some Indian cuisines that you really enjoyed? And I clearly have seen that you have picked up a lot of Hindi words as well.
Yeah. Look, I think we always, when us English go over to India, we always struggle with the food to start with, get a bit of a funny tummy, but over the years, absolutely love the, is it dal makhni?
Yeah.
That is one of my favourites.
Okay.
That is fantastic. But I think all the local food is just beautiful. It's actually, I find the curry is very different to the British versions. They're just so delicious, and yeah. I mean, after 10 weeks, it's nice to go back to some traditional English food. But you find after about 5 or 6 days back home, you're like,
I can use some.
I quite fancy some again, yeah. So, but I say, wherever we go, we're very lucky in the opportunities we have to travel and experience different cultures and food and things.
Okay, now really quickly, beyond cricket, so what's your favorite food?
Oh, favorite food?
Or a favorite cheap meal?
I love cake.
Cake?
I do love cake.
What kind of cake?
Well, sat here right now, I'd really like a red velvet or a carrot cake.
Someone needs to bring one for this interview, we need to get one.
Yeah, that's just, for whatever reason, that's what I fancy right now.
Okay. What's your favorite place in England?
Home.
Home?
Yeah, I love just being at home.
What's one thing you can cook?
Oh, I'm thinking what my wife would say. I'm really enjoying smoking a nice piece of beef brisket at the minute.
Okay.
So I'm not sure that counts as cooking. Like the cooker does it,
I mean,
the smoker does
being
it
in the
for you.
kitchen, so
yeah,
doing something.
Yeah.
Any secret talent?
I don't think I have any secret talents. No.
No.
None.
Favorite movie?
Oh. What's my favourite movie?
Or movie you recently watched and really
No, I
liked?
don't watch a lot of TV.
No?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
This or that, iced coffee or hot coffee?
Here, iced coffee.
Okay.
In England, in the depths of winter, hot
coffee.
Yeah.
Ice cream in a cup or ice cream in a cone?
Cone.
Cone.
Yeah.
A new clothes or new phone?
New phone. I have to say new phone. My heart, yeah. Everyone gets stuck into me for my dress sense, so I have to say new phone.
Okay. Call or text?
Text.
Driver seat or passenger seat?
Drivers.
You like driving?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Have you ever pranked another cricketer or gotten pranked on?
Yes. Yeah. I think Liam Plunkett actually. He hid in the wardrobe in India with, it was like a rubber mask, and then jumped out on me.
Were you scared?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was, yeah. Yeah, it's not what you're expecting as you just saunter into your room.
Have you ever forgotten to pack anything, or is there a usual thing you always tend to forget when you travel?
No, I'm pretty good.
Okay.
I think I'm pretty good. Thorough.
Okay. If you could change one thing about cricket, what would it be?
How difficult it is? No, I think, I mean, it would be nice if, you know, every game was over in 90 minutes and a bit more like football or rugby, and you weren't away for as long as you are.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, David Willey, for this not so jaldi interview, and spending so much time with us.
Thank you very much.